The eighth generation of video game consoles. I just hit the phone, goddamn. What an interesting time to be a gaming fan. Lots of ups, but also a lot of downs. Hold on, I'm putting my coat on. It's freezing in here. Where's my script at? Oh, shoot. I'm going to explain a brief history of all the 8th generation consoles, including handhelds and home consoles. And at the end, I'm going to rank them from biggest flop to greatest success. Also, keep in mind, I don't have some of the consoles needed for this video, so I'll just be using images in like this corner or whatever, somewhere on screen. The first console of the 8th generation was the Nintendo 3DS, released on February 26, 2011. The 3DS is Nintendo's 5th handheld, not including the Game & Watch systems and Virtual Boy. I won't lie and say the 3DS had a peaceful launch. It actually had somewhat of a rough launch. The 3DS launched overpriced, launched with not so compelling games, launched without an eShop, and also the eShop was literally added a few months after the system launched. Just a disappointing launch to Nintendo's next-gen handheld. Not to mention, the 3DS was only the power level of the Sony PSP, Sony's last-gen handheld. Over time, Nintendo did turn around the reputation of the 3DS around in the later years of its life by making interesting and fun exclusive games, updating the software, and even making it cheaper at one point. The second handheld of this generation and the 3DS's only competitor, the PlayStation Vita, released on December 17th, 2011. The lowest selling mainline PlayStation. Why is that? Well, first of all, Sony got a bit ignorant when it came to this handheld specifically. They thought it would be the ultimate handheld and would single-handedly beat Nintendo's handhelds offering at the time, and crammed as much technology in it as possible just to have it ended up being an absolute dumbfounding price. You know, you can make a powerful handheld. I'm sure you can make it a huge success, but not here. It was such a failure that it failed twice. The next system has to be better, at least better than the Vita. What the fuck? The Wii U, Nintendo's worst-selling home console of all time, released on November 18th, 2012. Look, I get it. The Wii was a phenomenon. Everyone knew what a Wii was, so when it came to Nintendo's next-gen console, they had to name it Wii something. Literally anything but Wii U would have worked, but no. Nintendo wanted this console to look as similar as the original Wii as possible so people wouldn't bat an eye. And they only even marketed the controller, the gamepad. Also, not to mention that the Wii U's commercials were god-awful. Let's retaliate by looking at the fourth console of this generation, the PlayStation 4, released on November 15th, 2013. I'm not gonna lie to you all, the PlayStation 4 was a good console, but I believe its success came from both Xbox One and Wii U's reveals being so bad. The PS4 was people's only choice to not seem like an idiot while playing games. Over time, the PS4 had two hardware revisions in its lifespan, the PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro. This is what I'm talking about. The PS4's lifespan was good. Just a bit forced from the failures the PS4 was going up against. Speaking of which, the Xbox One, Microsoft's third Xbox in the Xbox family, released on November 22nd, 2013. Also one of Microsoft's biggest mistakes. All I have to say is, Xbox One Connect, always online restrictions, and unable to use used games. Though they did bring back the One with some well-needed revisions, the One S and One X. Though I see them more as prototypes for their 9th gen consoles, the Series S and X. Though I gotta give Microsoft props for the comeback with the Xbox One. And to finish off all the consoles for the 8th generation, let's look at Nintendo Switch. Released on March 3rd, 2017. The Nintendo Switch is the most important console of not only this generation, but all generations so far. Being able to play home console games on the go while also being able to play them on the TV, it's phenomenal. Though it's definitely not perfect. Underpowered, not as portable friendly as the 3DS, and not so good online restrictions behind a paywall. Now the rankings of most failure to greatest console of the generation. 6 being PlayStation Vita. What do I have to say? 5. Wii U. Horrible marketing, but at least Nintendo tried to fix it. 4. Xbox One. Horrendous launch, but also tried to fix their mistake by the end. 3. 3DS. Not a failure, but not as successful as its predecessor. 2. PlayStation 4. Successful, yet the only logical option. 1. Nintendo Switch. Not perfect, but an absolutely incredible comeback for Nintendo. Now I would like to say sorry if I kept some histories a bit too brief. Some consoles just didn't have much to talk about. So that means it has quite a bit of best-selling potential. But the funny 3D console beat it.